What's up, family and friends? Welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Cam Reeds, and today we're going to talk about building self-confidence. So self-confidence is that feeling that you have within yourself that you are capable and able to do the things that you want to do, to accomplish the goals that you set out to accomplish, and that feeling of deserving success, being worthy of love, and all of those good things that life has to offer. However, if you're like me and how I was, you may struggle with self confidence. For years, I was very insecure. I was highly self critical. I had terrible anxiety, especially social anxiety, where I wonder, what are other people thinking? They probably think I'm stupid. They probably don't think I'm pretty. And it really limited my capacity to have healthy relationships, to build friendships, to just be in the world as myself. And so I'm going to share with you guys today the steps that I took to build my self confidence, to become someone that is fearless and that is bold and that is courageous, and what you can do if you find yourself lacking in self confidence to build yours. All right, so let's get started. So, the first thing I did when I noticed that I didn't have any self confidence, and when I tell you guys I had no self confidence, I struggled to look people in their eye. So, I was really good at the art of deceiving and making it appear as though I were confident. I would look at your forehead, I would look at your eyes, I would glance away, I would come back, I would talk, I would laugh, and I would really exaggerate my emotions so that you really couldn't tell that I had trouble looking you in your eye. Another thing that I would do is I would talk about all of these external things in my life, my job, where I was traveling, um, the different places I was going to, restaurants I was trying, food that I liked, but I would never let anyone get close enough to me to know how I thought, what my feelings were about certain things, if I was dealing with anything, the times where maybe I didn't feel so good and I could use support, because to me, vulnerability equaled weakness. And that's how I used to think. And I had been hurt in my past and I was holding on to so much pain that I really couldn't embrace love. And so I know it came to a head when literally it was taking me about 2 to 3 hours to go outside my house because I had to be dressed just right. My makeup had to look just right. I had to make sure there was nothing about me that would cause me to be the subject of ridicule or whatever else. There were things where I'd be like, hey, I like this. I'm like, oh, what if people think I look crazy though? What if this ain't cute? And so I would take it off and opt for a safer option. So if this sounds like you, keep tuning in and we're going to talk about things I did to overcome that. The first thing I did, and it's going to sound crazy, is I started looking at myself in the mirror. And so a lot of times if you lack self-confidence, even something as simple as looking at yourself, looking yourself in the eyes, in the mirror and telling yourself something you like about yourself can be challenging. And so that's where I would start. That's where I started. In the days where I couldn't say it out loud, I would say it in my head. I like myself. I like myself. I would write it because writing is a therapeutic process. And when you write it, your mind not only sees you writing it, but you almost hear yourself saying it in your mind. And so you can practice those things until you're confident and gain enough confidence in yourself to say, I like myself. I started to find small things that I could like about myself. I started to look at how I reacted to the world. And I realized that I was very forgiving of other people, but I was not as forgiving of myself, my own perceived shortcomings and perceived flaws. And so I started to view myself just as compassionately as I viewed others. And so that same forgiveness and compassion that I extended outward, I started to extend inward. And I would tell myself, it's okay. I'm making progress. I'm in the progress of. I like who I'm becoming. I like the decisions I'm making. A second step that you can take to build your self confidence is to start doing the things that you know you want to do, but maybe you've been afraid to do. And so what I mean by that is if, let's say, for example, you're overweight and you don't like the fact that you're overweight, and maybe you don't like it not because of the physical appearance, but because it doesn't embody your values. So for me, I value health. I truly value being healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, because I think that when you're healthy, you feel better, you have more energy. I like being able to play with my child. I want to be here for my grandkids and able to play with them. I also see what happens when people get older and they haven't taken care of their bodies, and I want to make sure that I can be independent and do things for myself for as long as possible. And so for me, I truly value health. But I realized and recognized that the way that I was living was not indicative of my values. I was eating fast food a lot. I wasn't exercising. I was thin, but I didn't have that muscular definition that I like personally for myself. And so it starts with small changes. I started in my house, literally, I would do 5 squats. I would pick one day a week and just do 5 squats, something that was so small I couldn't not do it. And so for some of you, that might mean just one day a week doing 1 squat, or just starting small because it'll add up. And so I started there, and then I gradually increased to, okay, I'm going to do this a couple times a week. I'll do 20 squats, and then I was doing 100 squats, and then before I know it, I joined the gym. And so you can do those same things. That's what I'm saying. If there's something that you want to be doing, or that you feel that you ought to be doing because it aligns with your values, then start small and start doing those things. Doing those things will build your self-confidence because you're keeping promises to yourself. And you're keeping the commitments that you made to yourself. I was really good at keeping commitments to others. Like, I never missed a day of work. I wasn't late. If I told somebody I was going to be there, I would be there. But when it came to keeping commitments to myself, I was awful. So start keeping commitments to yourself, whatever that looks like. Maybe for someone it looks like self-care. Once a week, you sit down, you write out how you're feeling, or you go and you get in that bathtub and you run your bubble bath, and you've got your oils and your beads. Whatever it is that makes you feel good, start doing more of those things, because that's how you're going to build self-confidence. That's how you show yourself and prove to yourself that you love yourself. And then the third thing that you can do is you can read self-help books. If you're not a reader, there are audio books, there are YouTube videos you can watch, but start exposing yourself to different programming. If you sit at home and you watch TV, or you're just driving around and you look at billboards, everything that these advertisements, these billboards are telling you is that you're not good enough, that there's something that's deficient within you, and that if you just buy this product, if you just do this, just do that, then you then will be worthy of love and respect. And it doesn't work that way. And that's the micro messaging behind the advertisement. And that's why rarely will you see someone in a commercial, on an advertising billboard, that doesn't embody the American ideal body, color, stance, beauty, any of those things, because they're micro messages. So what I would encourage you to do is start reading different books that are going to expand your mind. Start listening to different podcasts or motivational speakers. You can even listen to someone that is going through something similar to what you're going through and see how they handle it. But change your mindset. And when you change your mindset and how you look at the situation, it's going to change how you feel in the situation. Okay? For some of you, this might mean going and seeking therapy. And I tell everybody this because I know especially within the Black community, there's still a stigma about going to therapy. And so my analogy is always this: if you woke up one morning and your arm just kept doing this, and you weren't moving your arm, you would be quick to call the doctor and say, something is wrong with my arm. I don't know what's happening. It just keeps moving. Yet, when it's your mind and you wake up and it keeps racing with thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I can't do this, something is wrong with me, we're less likely to go seek help because of stigmatization. And so I am a firm believer in therapy. I've had 2 therapists, and I started going to therapy about 5 years ago, and I can tell you it helped me tremendously. If you find yourself as one of those people that says, I don't need therapy, you know what, I already know what my issues are, they're not going to tell me anything I don't know. You're right. They're probably not going to tell you anything that you don't know. However, what they can do is help you to talk through and work through your feelings, to be able to accurately identify them, identify, 1, the source of where these thoughts are coming from, 2, see the way that it's disrupting your life, and then give you different types of coping methods that you can try that'll better align with your values and goals and how you want to see yourself. So those are my 3 tips today as far as building self-confidence. 1, like I said, keep promises to yourself, change what you're listening to and looking at, and 3, start small by loving yourself. If this helps you, let me know in the comments below. Go ahead and like this video. You can follow me on YouTube, same name, Cam Reads. Until next time, y'all, be safe. I love you. Bye.